Stellar is one of those projects in this space, in my opinion, that will lead us down the path to mass adoption. And I have been very vocal about this for a very long time. And in this video, we're going to be talking about this heavily and really kind of focusing on it as well. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those who are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. With that in mind, let's dive on in and let's actually talk about this post from September of 2023. We're talking about a whole year ago. And I said, believe it or not, but Stellar is accelerating mass adoption through P2P payments. This is one thing that I personally see so much value in when it comes to crypto, is revolutionizing the way people pay each other. Because if you go overseas, if you go to some of these areas around the world, every single dollar matters. And when you're sending money over something like Western Union, you are getting hit with massive amounts of fees. And crypto could solve that. The only problem is the UI, right? Solve for the UI, allow anyone to be able to utilize it, and game is over. The game is over around trying to achieve mass adoption, because that instance right there, mass adoption will be achieved. And I even said that under the umbrella of payments, specifically cross-border payments, you have B2B and P2P. Now, this is the argument that I see so many people make, and I'm so tired of hearing about it. XLM versus XRP or XRP versus XLM. Stellar can facilitate both, but it is heavily marketed for P2P side of payments. When I look at XLM and XRP, I view them as very complementary. XLM for P2P, XRP for B2B. Now, they both can be utilized for both sides, but this is exactly how they've been marketed. Either way we look at it, the world around us is evolving. Payments are becoming faster while settlement remains slow. We need to usher the settlement layer into the digital age. You don't do this without adopting new age technology. Say hello to DLT and digital assets. Blockchain and DLT are becoming the tools that build the rails for tomorrow's payment infrastructure. When you go to the grocery store and pay, you will use this technology. When you send a wire transfer, you will use this technology. This is what mass adoption looks like, disrupting the back end layer while the front end layer remains the same. The financial system is evolving. 93%, which is now 98%, of central banks are exploring CBDCs now. It's only a matter of time. Those that are not researching this space right now will soon be left behind. And I strongly believe this, right? Because, even if we go over here, more recently back in March, Stellar put out a great post. And we have mass adoption hinges on financial access. The Stellar network makes it possible. And check this out.
Awesome. I think my perspective is a bit different, which is I think about access, financial access, as a really important thing. And I think that if we want to build financial instruments that are inclusive and aim for people outside of this room in Denver, then it's really important to build products that actually allow people to get in and out of them in regions that are kind of like less accessible financial-wise. One thing that we did that we've been doing with Stellar since our inception in 2014 is building a global network of on and off ramps. One of them, probably the biggest one, is MoneyGram. So you can actually walk into a MoneyGram in more than 400,000 locations around the world and turn cash, whether it's like shekels or pesos or whatever, to USDC on chain, and from that, whatever. So you can actually, as a wallet developer, as a dApp developer, you can integrate with that and build like the seamless experience from that goes from cash to DeFi. And I think that's really important to get mass adoption. Awesome.
And he is 100% correct on this. Financial access is crucial. And I love the fact that he did bring up MoneyGram, because if we go all the way back to 2016, this was back in 2016, mind you, MoneyGram had a connection to 2 billion accounts. Okay, so they were connecting customers to more than 2 billion accounts around the world, and they had 500 plus banks tapped in already. So if we're really focused on this, this is allowing Stellar and any developer, any major player that is utilizing Stellar, to immediately have access to this rail as well. And by the way, a more updated view from MoneyGram back on September 12th of this year, we have MoneyGram unveils 2024 State of Remittances Report, the consumer perspective on digital trends and global pressures. And if we look at this, okay, we have the report based on an extensive survey of over 1,000 U.S. remittance consumers, offers critical insights into the evolving landscape of international money transfers and the increasing reliance on digital solutions to support loved ones abroad. Like I said, people are tired of paying astronomical fees when it comes to, sending over Western Union or any other, cross-border payment network or solution. They want to tap into these new digital solutions that offer practically zero fees and almost instantaneous settlement. And if we actually look down here, these are the top themes shaping the current and future state of the remittance industry. Remittances as a lifeline. The top reasons for sending money abroad include helping with unexpected situations like emergency medical bills, ongoing support for essential needs like food and housing, and also aiding those affected by global events. Digital solutions on the rise. 37% of consumers reported an increase in their use of digital money transfer services in the past year, with digital solutions expected to play a more critical role in the future of personal finance. Resilience in the face of global challenges. Consumers reported increasing remittance amounts to help loved ones abroad cope with inflation, 62%, geopolitical issues, 59%, and the impacts of natural disasters, 57%. And we also have generational shifts. The report highlights a growing trend among Gen Z and millennials utilizing digital wallets and other emerging technologies, reflecting a broader shift towards digital-first financial tools. And we also have every international money transfer tells a story of unique individuals coming together in the spirit of care and support. And this is from the CEO of MoneyGram themselves. As the remittance industry evolves, so does our commitment to developing innovative, tailored digital solutions that will shape the future of cross-border money transfers. Our responsibility is to stay deeply attuned to both senders and receivers around the world, ensuring our network and services not only meet but anticipate their most critical needs each and every day. Now, one thing that I will say, just going back real quick to my initial view over here, XLM and even XRP, they could both be utilized around payments. It doesn't matter if it's B2B. It doesn't matter if it's B2B. There is so much money out there. The cross-border payment market is destined for well over $250 trillion by 2027 alone. This is a market that continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. So the opportunity here for these altcoins like XLM and XRP that are tied back to great networks that are, trying to solve these problems, their opportunity, their value, everything around these altcoins and these technologies just continues to grow as well. And if we go back over here, we have more transfers are going digital, but consumers also want flexibility. 49%. This is the amount of respondents that are increasing reliance on digital technology. And it's now reporting the use of a money transfer app to send funds across borders, aka MoneyGram. However, the desire for flexibility remains strong, with over 40% of respondents still using in-person bank or money transfer physical locations to send money abroad. And we also have down here that remittance senders most frequently reported that a receiver accepting funds directly into a bank account in an app or digital wallet and at a retail/walk-in location. Moreover, when a money transfer provider has both digital services and physical locations, remittance senders most frequently say they perceive the provider as being more flexible and more accessible as well. And now is the time to really kind of focus on crypto. We have, as the remittance industry continues to grow, the report indicates a strong demand for more comprehensive digital wallet features, especially among younger generations. Consumers are seeking apps that offer broader personal finance capabilities, with popular features including the ability to use as a wallet or e-wallet when shopping in stores or online, paying bills, and paying rent. We place great value on listening to our customers and truly understand their unique perspectives. Through direct conversations and insightful reports like this one, we've learned that today's consumers are increasingly seeking a financial partner that can seamlessly address both immediate and long-term needs. And with this, they want to streamline the entire experience. They want to offer, new ways to pay. And even down here, we have lastly, the report highlights the transformative potential of Web3 services in shaping the future of the remittance industry. And beyond, this belief is reflected in the widespread consumer confidence that emerging technologies such as cryptocurrency, blockchain, stablecoins, and digital wallets are positioned to redefine the landscape of personal finance. By generation, 79% of Gen Z adults, 81% of millennials, 67% of Gen X, and 57% of baby boomers reported seeing these technologies as the future of personal finance. So as we think about that, right, MoneyGram's already tapped in a very large way back to Stellar. And as we also look at some big players, like for example, Franklin Templeton, we have over here from Subjective Views, a big picture view of the tipping point for mainstream adoption of crypto and regulations, as explained by Roger Baston, head of digital assets at Franklin Templeton. Check this out.
I actually feel pretty good about, I mean, I know there's a lot of pessimism about regulators and, you know, being a little overbearing and the like, but, you know, for sure, I think the focus from the regulators, at least our communications with regulators, and we've been shepherding several products through the US regulators and the Luxembourg regulators. What you find is that the focus has been on the asset themselves. What is Bitcoin? What are cryptocurrencies? What do they do? But after some time and education and collaboration, beginning to understand what the networks are capable of doing and how they can be an improvement over the existing infrastructure, I think you're going to see in the next couple of years a bigger realization about how the regulators can begin to do their job easier, because a lot of this activity is riding on these public blockchain utilities, quite frankly. I mean, several years ago when we started our having conversations with the SEC about our project Benji, our tokenized money fund project, which is available in the US and we hope soon globally. The conversations that we were having with them was, look, if these transaction records take place on these public blockchains with the right tool sets, and we know the SEC has the right surveillance tool sets, with the right tool sets and people, they can observe the movement of all these activities a lot easier. And so it benefits them as a stakeholder. Yeah. There's more efficiencies for the shareholders of the product so they can earn more capital in return. It's easier and cheaper for the asset manager to operate as well. So I'm actually a lot more positive about that. Maybe because, you know, I'm now on practically my 50th conversation with the SEC about projects, and I see the changing nature of their approach of, let's understand what these technologies deliver for us rather than focusing on the cryptocurrency itself and the volatility of it. As we've been in our journey in digital assets now for about 6 or 7 years, we came at it by looking at just how can we use blockchain technology in operating inside of what we do in the asset management business. We found a use case in the transfer agency responsibilities we have, record keeping. I mean, these blockchain networks are massive record keeping systems, quite frankly. And when we uncovered some of the efficiency gains of using these networked distributed ledger platforms versus our proprietary single database providers, it really gave us comfort that a lot of change is going to be coming, and we needed to keep doubling down and putting more resources. And what we're finding is there's regulators outside of the US that are far more friendly. So it's not really surprising that Hong Kong is going to be taking another step forward beyond what the US market has been doing. You have the wirehouses, the wealth management platforms are doing their due diligence to select who the limited number of providers might be. They're allowing their platforms to be able for you to purchase it. It's self-directed. They're not offering any discretionary advice. That's the tipping point. When there's more realization that these networks are hugely powerful rails off of which the data economy is going to be moving going forward, it's that big picture thematic story. When there's more understanding about that, there will be much more adoption, and we're likely to see, probably a lot higher price action, quite frankly.
And there you guys have it. The higher price action, a lot more adoption. Once people realize the power behind these technologies and these networks, that's when everything changes. And when we think about Franklin Templeton, they're embracing this space in such a large way, especially when it comes to Stellar. Initially announcing their $270 million money market fund being tokenized on Stellar back in 2023 of April. Then they also updated this back in April of this year as well. Franklin Templeton upgrades their $380 million tokenized treasury fund to enable peer-to-peer transfers. Again, if we go back to my post, P2P transfers. It's the key thing to focus on whenever it comes to a lot of this stuff. And you got to also remember that Franklin Templeton didn't just choose Stellar out of nowhere. If we go over here, there's a reason. $1.5 trillion asset management firm Franklin Templeton chose Stellar XLM. You can tokenize anything you want on Stellar. And on top of that, you can do it much easier, more scalable, faster, more secure, and cheaper than Ethereum or Bitcoin. These institutions don't care about Bitcoin. They don't care about Ethereum. They don't care about the hype. They care about the tech. They care about the efficiencies.
The real world assets traded on Stellar, I believe, are more than every other platform combined right now because of the partnership that you have with Franklin Templeton. So,
yay, everybody, let's do that. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, and the funny thing about the Franklin Templeton partnership is that it actually started kind of without our knowledge, because Franklin went to the SEC before even talking to us, and they actually started their approval process back in like 2019, early 2020, and we found out about it because we saw an SEC filing. And then after that, of course, we started working with Franklin Templeton. But I just checked right before we came on, and they're just under 300 million in terms of the volume that they have with Benji, which is their asset. Money market fund on Stellar.
The real world
And there you guys have it. You know, this wasn't just out of completely nowhere, right? They were doing their research. They were understanding the efficiencies, the tech, and Stellar had everything that it needed for Franklin Templeton. And this is why when we really kind of look at what's happening around Stellar, when we look at what's happening around this space, I just don't see how Stellar isn't one of those big players that achieves mass adoption. And I didn't even mention, right, Wisdom Tree, because they have an actual app that they're offering their clients that Stellar is tapped in on. So as we think about this, I think that the network, the altcoin that has, you know, one of the highest probabilities of being massively adopted, it is Stellar with XLM. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.